Gig Coach Jake here with some tips on stacked offers and some post-Halloween story time. So yesterday I got my first triple stack offer. I've never had one of those before. I've seen a lot of double stack and done quite a few of those, but I've never seen a triple. Part of the reason is because I don't accept ones on a double that are going the opposite way that would probably lead to a triple, or ones that are smaller. So it has to be a certain amount for me to accept it, and it has to be going the same way. I'm not going to go opposite ways. That makes no sense. I'm going to leave that for another driver. So right here you see this PETA jungle that came through. It was a little bit on the lower side during a crazy rush hour time, but it's in a spot where I can get stacked offers sometimes, especially when traffic's crazy, right? Because it's a little bit longer for drivers to get there and not as many drivers are out. I accept this hoping I'm going to get another one, and I'm heading there. Boom, you see these two offers come through, all heading about the same direction, not too far from each other. But you could see the route was a little bit kind of crazy. So the one that was the closest, actually pretty tough drop off. During that time from 4 to 6 p.m. they have that middle lane that's all going north. You can't make any left turns in any major roads, so it kind of makes it very tricky. So I had to go back through some back roads and drop that one off if I was going to do that first. Normally, from what I hear from a lot of people, if it's a smaller tip, like that one was a $5 tip and the other ones are around 7 something, they will go out and do the bigger tips and would have come back through and done that one last. I'm not like that. I'm going to do whatever is the closest one, the most efficient. I'm just going to do them in order. Unless for some crazy odd reason, say that I'm in an area and it's taking me into no man's land or out of the region, right? One of them. I'm probably going to go do that one that's out of region and work my way back and hit the one last. So what happened is the one that ended up being the lower tip, when I got there, dropped off the food, actually tipped me $5 cash on top of the 5. So it ended up being the higher tip of all three. Then I went and dropped off the second one. Guess what? No answer. I opened up the storm door after I knocked on that a couple times. I knocked on the door. It started to creep open. It wasn't even locked all the way or shut. So then I'm like, oh great, what's going on? You know what I mean? Someone forgot to shut the door, something crazy going on, someone trying to play a prank. I don't know. So I don't even bother trying to push that open any further or see what's going on, right? I didn't want to know. Shut that door. I bang on that storm door even harder. I make the phone call. No answer. I send a text message, let them know. Because I have another delivery, right? This one is, as you've seen on the map, it's way over, again, rush hour traffic. It's going to take some time, right? I don't have time to call customer care, driver care, and do all that. That's like 10 minutes usually on average to get through that. So, as you see in the picture, I set the stuff on that chair there. I sent a text message, hey. So at least if something was going on, maybe they took off, they come back, at least the food's right there. I'm not getting a phone call like, hey, you need to go drop the food off. Again, if I see that number from Chicago pop up, I don't even answer. Because guess what? You're going to get roped into doing something you don't want to do. So you see that Chicago number, you might not want to answer it, okay? If you do, just remember, you heard my voice telling me, don't answer. Anyhow, so I get no calls from customer care afterwards, right? And as far as I know, it's good. I got paid for it. I dropped it off. I left it there. I sent a text message letting them know. I obviously tried to attempted to call them several ways. Their doors probably pushed open a little bit further as I was knocking on it. Crazy situation. I get all the way to over to the other one a little bit late because of all that. And anyhow, super happy nonetheless. Successful triple stack, except for the second person not being around when I got there. So instead of me calling driver care and dealing with that whole nonsense, you saw by the picture what I did. I left it in a spot next to the door. I sent them a text message, let them know what was going on. I'm sure they saw the missed calls. They saw the text message. So they saw that I tried to attempt to get to them, right? Or get the food to them. I've seen incidents where people have texted the driver back and, why didn't you just leave the food? So that's exactly what I did. I left the food because I don't want to have to go find someone to give it to. I have another delivery to go, And driver care and customer care just really aren't that much help in that situation. So sometimes you have to problem solve for yourself. So nothing really crazy happened other than the missed drop off, but I did have this offer to Panda Express. And I'm not a big fan of picking up this place at nighttime, especially later at night, because they close the dining room and you have to go through the drive-thru to get pickups. And usually at that point, there's a half dozen vehicles waiting. And their drive-thru, if anybody knows, is not quick. They're not going to get through there very fast, especially if they still have some people left in the dining room, right? If it's that time they just closed. Anyhow, it's an hour before that point, but this place is unpredictable. I pull up, the door's locked. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. You saw by the picture, $15 offer, well worth my time. But not only was the door locked, look at what the customer sent me for information on what he wanted and what he was gonna do if the order was incorrect. So I'm pulling on these doors, wiggling them. They're not coming. The people are just looking at me all silly from inside, right? I don't know what's going on. I hop in my car. I'm looking at the drive-thru. There is a half dozen at least cars. I'm just like, there's no way, right? So I'm like, screw this. I'm going to wait till somebody comes out of there, and I'm just going to run up and just go in as the door's open. Pretty quick, someone's coming out of the dining hall, out of there. They open the door. I catch the door, run in, and I walk up to the counter. They ignore me for about 5 good minutes helping other customers before they finally asked me who I'm waiting for. It was already, could tell that it wasn't done. Otherwise, I probably would have been maybe, put a hand up or something. I try not to be too pushy in those situations. I try to be patient and professional at all times. So there's no food sitting up over on the spot except for a little smaller order that definitely wasn't mine. I saw that they were working on some plates, some things over there, so finally I get a chance. The guy asked me, I tell him the name. It takes him a while to get it done. That place is always a pain in the butt. Finally, the girl come over. She has her back to me. She's bagging all this stuff up. She goes and does another one. I'm like, hey, by chance is that? And as I'm about to say a name, she goes, Robert? And she's and again, try to be patient, professional, and polite at all times, even when they're nasty, right? If they're super nasty and there's an incident, just go report them to GrubHub. Handle it through that way. It's a losing battle for you, and it's going to end up pretty bad. So don't make it any worse. Kill them with kindness, right? Anyhow, so I don't know what to expect when I go drop off this food. I can have an irate customer, right? Person has dealt with a bunch of, bad. Maybe they just put in the order and it's coming back through again, and he's getting the correct one. Maybe I'm the person that's delivering the order, fixing somebody's screw up. I don't know. As I'm getting close and I'm approaching, I realize, oh, I've dropped off to this guy before. Super nice, really nice guy. He always orders bigger orders, and tips really well. And I remember that the one time he did order was quite a bit of Chinese food from a place that's very popular, and I was thinking, okay, this is his way of meal prep, right? I'm not a big fan of cooking. It takes up too much time. I have a lot of other stuff to do, so I get it. And I was like, that's pretty smart. That's brilliant, right? If it's his meal prep, it's his food for the week. So with that said, I knew that this guy usually orders a considerable amount of food, and definitely if he shorted some food, that would screw up his whole plan, right? But I know he's a super nice guy and tips really well. So opens up the door. He's like, oh, man, I'm glad to see you. I thought you were another trick-or-treater. He says, I'm all out of candy. I've been handing dog bones. I'm like, what? Dog? Anyhow, I laughed. I have dogs. I love dogs. You guys, most of you know that. But funny little story. Again, don't judge by what you see always on the information. The guy was super nice, polite. He probably dealt with a lot of bad incidents before. There's some pretty crappy drivers and people out there that they don't even pay attention, right? So, which sucks when it's someone that tips really good and it's a good customer, because that's what really affects all of us. So you guys can be mad at cherry pickers all you want, but some of us are doing a really good job and taking really good care of these customers so they come back again and again. And guess what? Eventually you're going to get some of those orders and offers from that repeat customer. So we're not all that bad. Don't hate on us. Hate on GrubHub and their systems. I hope all of you had a great day. I really only worked 5.5 hours. I was done about 7:15. I was heading back. I actually picked up some Church's chicken for my brother and I, heading back, and I was done. I stayed logged in. I kept my block on all the way till 10:30. I kind of wanted to see what it act like. I want to see, for next Halloween. It gives me a lot of data information, so when people ask, was Halloween busy? Well, if I stopped at 7 o'clock, I would never know how busy it was beyond that when people stopped trick-or-treating with their kids and so on and so forth. For me in my area, it really wasn't that much busy. There was a few offers, but at that point I was pretty much settled in. I was done. I mean, 170 bucks, I can't complain. Good day for me. If you want to learn more about me, go check me out on my website, gigcoachjake.com. And the links for my Facebook groups are down below. Go hit those up. We could chat and share stories all you want in those groups. I hope you like this video. There's more coming up soon. Have a great day, everyone.